And welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome today to a video the likes of which I have never made before. 2.5 years making 350 plus videos on YouTube, and I've never done this. Today I am not going to review this watch. I am not going to be reviewing the Fonderia Navale Condor. I will not be flipping the camera. There will be no formal review process, no high, low, indoor, outdoor wrist shots. My time grapher will remain resolutely switched off and you will not be seeing a Lume video. This is not the worst watch that I've seen by any stretch, but I cannot in all good conscience recommend it to you. Therefore, I didn't see the point in wasting 15 of your minutes and a lot more of my minutes on a lengthy formal review process. I do, however, see the point of wasting at least 5 of your and my minutes here. Don't worry, it's not just going to be me ranting at the camera. I'm going to pop in some video and some screenshots as I go. Now, I try not to make this type of video very often. I've made maybe 3 or 4 overtly negative reviews in the last 2.5 years. Firstly, I try not to get watches in for review that I don't think I'm going to like, and I think by extension that you're not going to be impressed with either. I just politely decline and move on to the next one. I feel that I have a responsibility to you as potential consumers and also to the companies concerned not to just slate and slam watches willy-nilly on YouTube. And on the occasions where I have received watches with noticeable quality control issues, I've got back to the companies in question and I've said, hey guys, perhaps you don't want me to review this watch as it stands, and I've given them the opportunity to send me a second piece. On the occasions where that second piece has also had a noticeable quality control issue, I feel again that I've got a responsibility to tell all of you about it. Most famously with the Melbourne watch company Portsea Calendar that I reviewed a couple of years ago. They sent me not 1 but 2 with grit and rubbish under the dial, and I reviewed the watch accordingly. The brand owner was not all that impressed, I can tell you that, but hey, there you go. They shouldn't have sent me 2 duds in a row. Similarly, I've got another watch that I sent back and they sent me another one and it's just as bad, so I'll be reviewing that one in a couple of weeks' time and it won't be a 2 thumbs up, happy and positive review either. So what's wrong with this Fonderia Navale Condor then? Well, the company got in touch with me a couple of months ago and they said, hey Jody, we've got this new pilot's watch coming out and we would love you to review one. It's from the same brand, it's from the same mother company that owns Pontus watches. They do big, chunky bronze and brass dive watches. I haven't reviewed one, but I've had one eye on them. So I was interested in this potential pilot's watch. I had a good look at the website, I had a look at the specs and the prices and the pictures, etc. And I got back to them and I did express my initial concerns that this one was perhaps a little bit expensive. Initially they were pricing these at $499 US. Now that is a fair chunk of money for a watch with a Seiko NH35 in it. Indeed, I think it's probably the second most expensive watch that I have reviewed with a Seiko NH35 in it. And I told them that I was concerned about the price. They explained that they were small batches, only 150 of these have been made. The case back is a specific casting, their cost involved in making the watches was high, therefore the price was going to be a little bit high, but don't worry, once I got the watch in my hand, I would be convinced I would love it. And I said yes, and they sent me the watch for free. I don't have to send it back. But as you well know, just because I get a free watch doesn't mean to say the watch gets a free ride. So what's my problem then, Jody? What am I moaning about today? Well, for a start, it's just a Zenith homage. It is an absolute one-for-one, the dial anyway, copy of a Zenith pilot's watch. Now, I've got no problem with homages, but the reason I've got no problem with homages is they tend to be an awful lot cheaper than the watches they're based on. They tend to be horological bargains. I've looked at a bunch of Submariner homages, I've looked at Seiko homages, and they've all been priced around that $200 to $300 US, offering a genuine affordable alternative to a much more expensive luxury watch. At $500 US, or indeed I think they're now charging $450, this one is an awful lot more affordable than the Zenith, but it's still not what you call a bargain. And then I began to look closely at the watch. I'll pop up a picture of it there. Have a look at that dial. Have a look at the alignment of the index at 12 o'clock and the little Flieger style triangle. The dial is squint. It leans to the left. Now, I did a bit of research. I dug around on YouTube, and from what I can see, Fonderia Navale have sent another 4 of these watches out. So, limited run of 150, they've already sent 5 of them to reviewers. Perhaps they could have cut down on their costs if they hadn't sent so many out for review. I've watched all 4 of the other reviews and I think that all 5 of the watches that were sent out have got misaligned dials. First of all, Eric at Watch Addiction. He doesn't mention the misaligned dial, but it looks pretty squint to me. Secondly, Patrick Marlette at Take Time. Again, he doesn't mention the misaligned dial, but that one does not look straight either. Then moving on to Shane at Relative Time. He doesn't mention the misaligned dial, but it doesn't look straight to my eyes. Shane also mentions the fact that he had a second quality control issue with the crown. He had real difficulties engaging and re-engaging the crown. He got in touch with the company and they confirmed that 17 of the 145 watches that were left had this crown issue. That is not a good hit rate. Oleg from 24 Hours at a Time, who always does a thoroughly honest review, he was very upfront. The review was titled Too Many Issues. He not only cited problems with the crown, but he highlighted the fact that his dial was misaligned. Now, I don't have the crown issue, but I do have the misaligned dial issue. I reckon that is 5 watches out of 5 with misaligned dials and 2 watches with crown issues out of 5. Those are not good percentages. I don't think it is worth therefore taking a punt on this watch and risking getting one with a major quality control issue. Even if I was to assume that you would get a good one of these, what are you actually getting for your $450 US? Well, you're getting a very, very plain bronze case, very unspectacular, with a big bronze onion crown that Patrick Marlette in his review observed leaving big green streaks on the back of his hand. So there's another negative there. You're also getting a watch where the case doesn't match the buckle. The case is made of CUSN 8 bronze, the buckle is made of CUSN 6 bronze, so there is an obvious and noticeable colour match between the two. I just don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that mismatched buckle and case. I don't know what they were thinking sending 5 pieces out to YouTube watch reviewers when they must have known there were concerns with the quality control. Did they not check these themselves before they were sent out? When there were problems with the first one, did they not work out that there were probably going to be issues with the second, third, fourth, and indeed the 5th ones as well? Now, I hope that Fonderia Navale learn from this mistake. I hope they send them all straight back to the factory and kick the factory's arse for selling them a watch that is so obviously substandard. I hope therefore that this Condor can become a phoenix and rise from the ashes, but as it stands, it's a bit of a turkey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.